Hmm. Okay, guys, welcome back to another video on the Adam Ferns Archives. This is Season 4 Ben 10 villains, ranking them. So, without further hesitation or ado, here's my opinion of how I rank the villains from Season 4. There's a lot of villains in Season 4. If I've forgotten any of them, I apologise, but this is what the best I've got. So here we go. At the bottom of the list is the Road Crew, standard issue, your common thug for Ben 10. It's a bit weird seeing them as the focus in as the focus as a threat in an episode, because I would expect something a bit more. It's a bit of a shaft. Yeah, I mean, they just steal cars and they just pimp rides, and they do it just so they can use it as a vehicle to attach a missile to and break the road. Again, not the most of awesome villains. Moving on. Next up is the crime boss, Mr. Beck, I believe he's called, who is obviously going to be got better connections with the crime syndicate there, and he's actually more threatening, putting a person's life in danger if you don't get the money. So I feel like he's a more intimidating threat, so I'm putting him above them. Next up we have the Circus Freaks, finally getting to some superhuman-like characters now. These three freaks are Stanley rob crimes with their superpowers while Ben get on the way. However, they pose an okay threat. They appear in the -10 episode in this season, and they're just flunkies, a hired muscle. So there's not much to say about them. So they're on the lowest spectrum list. One step above that is Sublimino. I feel like he's a bit more of a conniving little creep, but he has two things about him. He's got his mind, which is a bit intelligent, which we saw back in the Shopper episode. He didn't get much to do. He didn't get much to say at all. Actually, he didn't say anything. But it makes sense why he would be recommended for the -10 for his hypnotic powers, because they did play a hand in Cooper. Moving on, we've got ourselves Clancy, the Bugman. He's changed, and he has gotten to a state where well, I don't know how he could transform like that, but then my friend Adam explained that both can do a metamorphosis. So I guess after the cold thing, he somehow was able to create this new body for him. It is obviously stronger than his human one. He does get a bit to do, and he has a bit of a creepy factor in it, but it doesn't stick out too much. Next up on the list is Kevin 11,000. Again, he is very powerful, but what drags it down is there's not much time to really get to know the villain, because he shows up at the very, very end, because it's like building him up. He's just a plot device, if anything. And when we get to him, he beats up everyone else, and then makes Ben mad, and then he just beats them up. So, not all that build-up was a bit less payoff. One above them is the Lenipens. Yeah, the Lenipens, the alien race, all known as the Sludge Puppies. Again, I prefer calling them the Lenipens, but call it what you wish. And the parents, obviously, they don't want this wedding to go through. Romeo and Juliet reference, there like that. And they are more powerful than the Limax. Standard issue morphing blobs. Takes a while to take them down. But yeah, they're an okay alien threat, I would say. And I would put them above Kevin 11,000 because we got some more time to know these villains. Moving on, we've got Hex. Obviously, he's gonna be one step above for Lenipens because he's a more well-known character. In his episode, he was weak, but it is a nice change. I know Adam doesn't like this episode, but it was a nice change to see a villain who's not powerful, who needs to progress through the story to get to be even more powerful than he ever was. So it was nice to see him in a different state, and that's why I put him where he is for me. He's a pretty good villain, even if it's not his strongest appearance. Next up above him is Rojo. Again, like Adam, I do like this armor compared to the first one, because it's not really, I don't think this armor is alien, it's more of Forever Knight armor. It may be alienified, I don't know for sure, but it's pretty advanced armor nonetheless. And she does have a few quips here and gets a nice rivalry with the next character, which is Charmcaster. I do put Charmcaster above Rojo because I feel like we get to know her more for the series, so it's more easy to relate to this character. And that goes in saying for the future series as well. So, yeah, they have a nice little camaraderie right there. Next up, we have the Forever Ninja, or preferred to be known as the Ninja Knight, as Adam and I prefer. Kind of like a weaker version of 6-6, which I'll get to later down the road. He's just there to be a plot device to guard the Forever King until you get to him. You know, your Forever Knights and all that. Moving on to the Forever King, he was next on my list. While he is, like, in a way, kind of the main villain of the series, he's very, he only gets one reference from the past, and then he's officially revealed. And he's kind of a disappointing villain to me, because once his identity is exposed, he gets taken down pretty quickly. And as for his big villain team, they get taken down pretty quickly. So once the truth is out, he's pretty much taken down pretty quick. But his plan of trying to get a nuclear explosion powered into himself is pretty diabolical. So he's up that. The best I've given him is this is 5th place on my. He's on 5th spot on my list. And now we're on the top 4, 6-6. Of course, he beat this high. I feel like this was his best appearance through the Secrets of the Omnitrix, as we got to see him progress even more dangerous throughout the movie, or episodes, depending on what you want to call it. So, I feel like this was 6-6 at his best, in my personal opinion. Seeing him go full on ham on everyone he went across. And it was finally nice to see, it was good to finally see what he was behind that mask. All this time. Even though the reveal was kind of a bit disappointing, but it's fine. At least we got to see something. Next up is 3rd spot, Animo. Obviously he'd be this high, very like, nostalgic villain there. Seeing him in -10 has a good fun dynamic with the villains there. Adam thinks he should be 3rd in command. He may be saying, yeah, 3rd in command because of biased, but who knows. Animo, and well, he also says he might be the most powerful villain, which I guess, again, I can see that sense. Also intelligent as well. And of course, he had his own episode, the Dillo episode, and I think that's his best. I would say the Mutant Ray is his best plan, but this is a very good follow up too, because like you have clones of a living army, but once you take down one, it's pretty easy to take down the rest. So still, he has a lot of good throughout this series in his final one, the classic era. And now we've got 2 villains left. Obviously, we've got Enoch. Enoch appears in only one episode, but I do prefer him over the Forever King. So Enoch, and this is probably his best plan, putting Ben into this alternate world where where a villain actually finally manages to get the Omnitrix. Well, we do get that in the season 2, but this is another instance where and this is Enoch, of course. He's gonna use all his science power to try and get that watch off while Ben's in limbo, and it's a race against. It's literally like a race against time to try and get that watch off. Get back to the reality, stop Enoch before he does anything bad. So yeah, it's a fun ride, I would say. I like that episode. And I do like Enoch's plan in this too, so that kind of goes hand in hand. And of course, no surprise, Vilgax is number 1. It's not just the good riddance episode that puts him here, but it's also obviously forever the Secrets of the Omnitrix, where once again, despite everything, despite the fact the watch is going to blow up, Vilgax still is willing to take his chances and get it. But anyway, that's the ranking of the Ben 10 villains. Didn't go much too different explanation to it because I didn't want to overdo this video. We're already at 8 minutes in. Anyway guys, that's my list for this one. Final one will be the one-off characters, and I'll be ending it there for the Ed Influence Archives on today's session. Alright, that'll be it for me. I'll see you guys in a bit for the final video of Ben 10 Season 4.